Avatar action figures, clearance. It gets worse. Turns out the brand new Avatar video game was marked down 40% just 12 days after its release. So I want to try and unpack this. Why is it that Avatar, with all its success, never even came close to amassing a fan base to the likes of other major blockbusters like Star Wars or the MCU?
What's up, Scapers? Takiro here. I am just doing a remote live stream test. I am not on Wi-Fi, I am on a hotspot. And I'm testing just how responsive things like my bank are, tile tapping. I might even try killing something to see if interactions with enemies go well. So, for what it's worth, being homeless is now illegal. At least if you live in your car. The last 3 cops that have knocked on my window in the middle of the night over the last couple months, the last 3 cops have all essentially told me that it's illegal to camp in your car in the city, that there's a city ordinance that says you're not allowed to sleep in your vehicle overnight. Period. Like within city limits or any private property or anywhere like they deem is like a no-no. And so last night, for the 3rd time, it had been a while. I hadn't been knocked on by a cop for a while. But last night, a lady cop accosted me at 3:45 a.m., right before the sun came up, basically. Told me, the first thing she asked was, "Are you homeless?" And like, I should have said no. But it was a little too obvious, and I don't like lying to cops. They usually know you're lying. And so I just said, yes, I am homeless. And she said, so if you want to go to the warm shelter in basically Asbestos Town, you can. She didn't say that, but it's literally like there's an abandoned Air Force base over here that was completely turned into a ghost town because everything's covered in asbestos. All the shingles, all the walls, everything is asbestos in that whole like military base. And they turned the gymnasium into a warm shelter. I mean, maybe it's not asbestos, but everything around it is. So you're basically saying, okay, so the homeless people are allowed to go into the poisonous zone, the cancer zone, and or you could, she said, you could go to the Hope group. There's like a group of like, it's hard to, like, they're kind of like police officers, but they don't have like badges or guns. They're like government workers that are supposed to help you like find resources like food and housing and stuff. But the last time they helped me out, the only resource that they gave me was they gave me a dude's number that rents out rooms. And when I called that guy, he offered me a room for $700 a month. And I'm homeless. What? If I could pay $700 a month for a room, I'd fucking be paying that already. There's plenty of rooms out there for $600-700, maybe. But no. Anyways, real helpful Hope team. Anyways, so long story short, I told the lady cop I don't want to go to the shelter, and I've already met with your Hope team. They're not very hopeful. And she said, well, if you don't want to take our help, I can arrest you for sleeping in your car. There's a city ordinance that says you're not allowed to sleep in your vehicle. So if you need to kick rocks. So I was this close. If she was in a little bit of a worse mood, I mean, I tried to be really, really polite too. I wasn't talking no shit. I wasn't, but because I know lady cops, they are fucking to the T of the law. They exercise the law to a T. They will not let you get away with anything. If you fucking broke a law in front of them, they're gonna ticket you. They're gonna fucking cite you. They're gonna arrest you. There is no letting shit slip with lady cops. I'm telling you, there is no looking the other way. Luckily, she looked the other way. She said, you gotta kick rocks. You gotta move. She said, YouTube monetization money. become a Max's today, but they told me there was an issue, so I'm going to go back later. I'm trying to deal with my storage unit to try and sell stuff. I'm trying to work more hours to try and earn that money. And straight up, I'm begging for help right now. I'm begging for help because I cannot live on the streets anymore. Because, look, Trump's appointees to the Supreme Court, during Biden's administration, nonetheless, Trump's appointees made a bunch of changes. They overturned Roe v. Wade. They made abortion illegal. They made bribes legal. It's actually now legal, when it wasn't before, it's now legal to give a bribe, a donation to a how do I say this properly? You're allowed to bribe a public official as long as the money or gift was given after the official act and not before. So as long as you give them an after thank you million, it's fine, but just not as a before. So they overturned abortion, screwed over women everywhere. They made bribes legal, and they also made it to where sleeping in your car in cities is illegal. They basically made homelessness illegal. Being poor and not having a house is now technically illegal, and it's at the cops' discretion to enforce or not enforce this. And I can't be the first person that has, been confronted with this, and I am certain that there are homeless people that we'll never hear the stories of who are in jail now or are in worse situations. I don't like being hyperbolic. I don't like talking about politics on this channel, but I am very, very, very worried that the Trump's vengeance plan, the conservatives' vengeance plan for their perceived slights towards them over the last decade or so, through politics and through religious conflict and stuff, they are so angry and pent up, and now they have the power. And there's been kind of little rumors and stuff going on for a long time now, but I'm seeing it directly now. They're starting to deal away with undesirables. And what do I mean by that? If you're a studier of history, you'll know back towards World War II, and this is not the only circumstance where they've done this sort of thing, but World War II, Hitler and Germany rounded up all the undesirables, the Jews, the non-religious, the gays and other transsexuals, the poor, the just foreigners of other types and minorities of every kind that wasn't essentially the master race German archetype, right? And like I said, I hate to be hyperbolic, I hate to be a doomsayer, but I really worry that we're in essentially an American version of that dealing away with the undesirables circumstance. And you can say I'm crazy, you can say I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I've been the last 3 cops that have knocked on me. I live in my van and sleep in my van, and the last 3 cops in the last couple months that have knocked on me have all said, hey, there's a Supreme Court law that was placed that says basically we're allowed to arrest you for sleeping in your car now, right? And I say, well, I'm working Uber, I'm taking orders right now. Look, the clock. Like I usually, when they knock, I immediately turn on the Uber Eats. I go, oop, boop. Okay, I got 10 seconds to turn on the Uber Eats before they knock again. Okay, here we go, and go. And I'm online. I don't know if you heard the little ding, but that's me going online. So, long story short, that's my only excuse. I think that's literally the only reason that's kept me out of jail 3 times in a row. Is I say, I've got a job. I'm just waiting for look, there's a sign on my window that says waiting for orders or orders deliveries in progress. Can you give me a break? And they said, well, yeah. Well, the first one said, well, I have a recording of it somewhere. The first one said, well, how did he put it? That's kind of a silly law, so I'm not going to enforce it. But you need to leave. You need to go somewhere else. Is eventually what the first cop said. The second one told me, yeah, you can't sleep in your car in the city, right? And I said, I'm working. I'm working right now. And the last one last night, she wasn't having it. She just straight up told me, like, if you're not going to accept our help, if you're not going to go to the homeless shelter or go to our help group tomorrow, I can arrest you if you don't get the fuck out of here, basically. She didn't say it like that, but that's just like, that's my life now. Can I watch this and this at the same time? Okay. I'm sorry, this wasn't supposed to be a pity party, but I also needed to kind of get some shit off my chest. I really worry that, like, homelessness are going to be the first people they deal with. They made the law that you can't sleep in your car, and if they can just arrest me just for sleeping in my vehicle, my property, who's to say they won't come for you? You know, they Agenda 2025, Project 2025, excuse me, has in it a lot of things like, we want to eradicate transgenderism. There is only 2 genders is what they want. Only 2 genders, no more pronouns, no more gay, transgender, no more bisexuality, no more this, that, the other. They want to eradicate that whole way of thinking. And I feel like homeless people will be first. Gay and trans people will be second, and then it'll be just, they'll start rounding up the Mexicans, because they really don't like the Mexicans, and maybe they'll do, they'll start cleaning up, that maybe they'll think it's a good thing to clean up the ghettos or whatever, and it's just like, it's gonna be incremental, but it's like, we may not be able to stop it till it's too late, and you may not even notice. If you're in a position of privilege, if you're running the rat race, and if you have a job and a car and a nice, house or whatever, you might not even notice any of this shit. You might not even hear about it. But I've been knocked on and told, like, if you sleep in your car tonight, I have the right to arrest you. And I've just barely gotten away with it. I'm not a person that would ever act on this, but I've had a lot of ideation lately. And it's been, I'm just kind of crying out for help right now. I'm just being real. Like, this has not been fun for me. Every single night, I have to worry about getting knocked on. So it's really hard for me to, like, fall asleep with a peaceful mind. And then what's worse is when I do fall asleep, every single night I have the same recurring nightmare. And it's not really, really scary, but it's starting to weigh on me. It's essentially, I don't like going into my dreams too much, but basically I'm running away. Essentially it feels like I'm clearing rooms, like in Call of Duty or something, like I'm checking rooms, like, for enemies or something, and then, like, I find a place where I can, like, settle down for, like, a minute, like, I can relax, like, I find a nice room, or, like, a nice, like, house, or, like, a nice, something, some kind of shelter, and then immediately I hear a knock, or immediately I hear somebody just around the corner. Where's he at? Oh, there he is. I hear some dogs barking. Arr, 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 arr. I hear something every single time, and I can never settle down in the dream. I'm always running away, and it's always like, oh, now I'm in the carnival. Oh, now I'm in the movie theater. Now I'm in the job that I was at when I was 15 or whatever. Now I'm over here at the school that I was at. Now I'm over here in Tennessee. Now I'm, like, running from different, like, that's the dream I have. It's because it's like my subconscious saying, like, you'll never be home, is what it feels like. It's like, you'll never be home. Can't find my way home. There's no escape. There's no privacy for me. You're always going to be like a caged animal at a zoo, on display in the parking lot. They can just look into the windows and just watch you like an animal, like some kind of circus freak that can't get his shit together. Look at the hobo living by the coffee shop. Oh, look at him. Oh, must suck to live his life. Oh man, he's starting to be an eyesore. I don't want to look at him when I drink my coffee. Maybe I'll call the cops on him. And I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do anymore. Rent is too crazy. Everything is too crazy. I mean, come on. Like, let's get real. Like, everything costs too fucking much now. And it's not like they doubled our salaries or anything. You have to work 2 jobs now to survive. And if you work 2 jobs, you don't have any free time. And so if you want to be like me and kind of enjoy a little bit of the fun of life, play a little RuneScape, ride a little skateboard, slough off a little bit, you have to, you don't get to have a house or the amenities like all the nice people do. I don't know, guys. I get really sad thinking about this stuff because it doesn't seem to be getting much better. I know I got maybe a way out soon, and I'm trying to have extreme patience for that solution. But yesterday was my 2-year anniversary of living in this van. I've lived in this van for 2 whole years without stop, without a single night in a motel or at a friend's house or anything. 2 years, 700 days, something, I don't even know. 730 days living in a van. Hot, cold, miserable, rainstorms, freaking flame-nados, whatever. Man, last year was so hot. It was 115 degrees for 2 months. It was boiling hot in the shade. If I had my car, if I was inside my car, underneath the roof of the car, underneath the roof of the Sonic drive-in, completely in shade, I'd still had to have my fucking AC on blast just to not have a heat stroke. I know complaining doesn't really get you anywhere. I just don't know it. I can't keep it bottled up anymore. I've got first off, a lot of people say, why don't you just sell your in-game gold? You got a Tumican Shadow, bro. That's worth $500. No, it's not anymore. It's worth $100. Also, I'd never sell my stuff. I'd never I value this account way too much to ever sell anything, any services, any items or gold, the account itself. I would never ever real world trade. Never. This account is 24 years old now, and literally, prove me wrong. Literally, my account is the oldest active account in RuneScape. Prove me wrong. Let's go to Hans right now. If you doubt me, I'll bet you a bond right now that my account is older than yours. But anyway, that's what I can't sell my stuff. That's not a solution. I struggle to be don't do it to the main, my man. Alt shirt. Nah. What's up, Shakies? Are you a new member? What's up? Thanks for becoming a paid member. What happened? Oh, I remember when you joined. My bad. You said right after leagues, yeah. Love the Toa talk-throughs. I'm glad that helps you, man. That makes me feel a little bit better. Because I'm feeling really sad right now, and I'm feeling really I was telling, I don't know if you were here when I was saying it, but I got knocked, and they basically made it so that cities can now decide whether or not to criminalize people sleeping in their cars. And I live in my van, and I got knocked on last night. She said, if you don't accept our, basically, if you don't go to the shelter or go to our group tomorrow, I can arrest you. And I said, look, I don't want any of that. I'm just gonna. She said, well, you gotta kick rocks, or I'm arresting you. I'm like, fuck. And I don't know if in the current setup I can even do TOA right now. Because this is my test already. This is my test right here. This is my test of my stream. And already just sitting here just talking, I've already been logged out twice, like from lag, so I can't do a TOA. At least not on this Wi-Fi or whatever. This is my hotspot on my phone. But yeah, I mean, I was one good thing. Let's try and have a silver lining. I checked my phone plan, and luckily I paid for the best plan possible last time I renewed, and they just made it to where there's no longer a data cap for the highest plan. They said for the unlimited unnecessary plan or whatever, it's actually unlimited now. There's no more 60 gig high speed then throttled. It's truly unlimited unthrottled now, which is so sexy. That's some good news that we have. So I now have unlimited data. So I can now I was living at the Lowe's because they had the best Wi-Fi in town. They had an unbeatable signal that was so freaking huge that I could go to like the end of the parking lot and still play. And they hadn't bothered me for like 3 months, but last night they bothered me and said, you gotta fucking go. So I can't sleep there for a week or two, you know? And, you know, once the sun goes down, I settle in. I don't know. Says, there you go. At least they hooked that up for you. Nice. But yeah, new rules are tough, man. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, the last 3 cops that have knocked on me in the middle of the night have told me basically the new Trump appointees put in a law that says you can't sleep in your car in the cities anymore. Homelessness is now illegal. Being poor, not having a home, is enough to make me a criminal. I could have a criminal record. I mean, I already have a criminal record, but I could have an extended criminal record just because I can't afford enough to be housed, to be inside. That should be unconstitutional. That should be heresy of the highest order in our American democracy, in our system of rule and law. That a lowly member not able to pay for the simple luxury of housing should be a criminal? What like, I weep for America, man. I weep for myself too, but I mean I really weep for just the core of we have no hope. And the only hope we have is faults. Oh my God. Shaky says, we struggling nowadays. Cali life is rough life for us. I barely make it with rent. We should be helping our fellow Americans first. That's it, period. Not in their pockets. I mean to put you on this rant, law. Sorry, G. No, it's cool. It's cool. I don't know what to do anymore, man. I have a potential solution in a month. It's kind of a last-ditch effort. And you say you gotta toke it up to chill, law? I mean, I just finished my marijuana, I'm out. and I'm not smoking anymore, and that's also frustrating me. I'm also trying to quit during this time period where I'm at a huge amount of stress. Like last night when the cop knocked on me, it set my PTSD into overdrive. I have legitimate PTSD for like when somebody knocks. I go into like panic mode, because the only time that somebody knocks on me like that, it's a cop, and like 50-50 shot, you're gonna go to jail when a cop knocks on you. Just 50-50 shot. You say the wrong thing, they're in the wrong mood, you get the wrong cop at the right time, you're in jail. It's no longer legal to be poor and to be homeless. I really fear, like I've been saying it a lot lately, and I hate to be hyperbolic and I hate to be a doomsayer, but it's like they're gonna start rounding us up, and I don't know if it's gonna be internment camps, concentration camps. It's probably not gonna be gas chambers, like Auschwitz and stuff. It's probably not gonna be like that. But if they can get us all in jail and forget about us, they'll do it. If they can get me, I'm unsightly. They'd rather not look at me. They'd rather say, you got to go to the shelter or get help from this thing, or we're going to take you to jail. They'd rather not look at us. They don't really want to help us. I mean, they say that the Hope Center is supposed to be for helping me, I guess, but Shaky says, I hear ya. That does suck. Just want to be comfortable in a house somewhere. And I wonder why, it's so hard. Maybe it's because I'm not looking, but the fact to me that anybody's homeless in America is a failure on us all. That any American should live on the streets is a massive, not by choice. That's a huge failure on our society. I often have said, I take this quote from somewhere, I forget who said it, but the greatest society is judged by how it treats its weakest member. And I mean the weakest. I'm not just saying somebody who can't do something for themselves. I'm saying somebody who's a wretch to society. Somebody who is a burden on society. If we can help them, that would reflect, so well. I don't think we treat our people with this respect, and there's a whole host of reasons for that. I don't know if I can log back in right now. So obviously this mobile live stream is a fail. I can't stream remotely and still have a good chance at doing anything seriously. I couldn't fight a single boss, especially not a raid like this. So you may not see me raiding for much of March. Shaky says, how do we get farther if the power is about profit, not growth and advancing? Great question. I think we need a total societal reset. I think our values are focused way too much on faith and on conservative values, and not enough on progressive or reality values. It makes me feel really bad. They'd rather legislate away women's rights to their wombs instead of helping anybody. They'd rather make homelessness illegal rather than give us any kind of help. Putting us in jail is not helping us. Giving a fucking hobo criminal record just for being poor, just for being out. What is it? Trespassing now? You're counting. I don't even know, man. I don't even know where I'm going with this. I just don't know how much longer I can take it. I can't even play fucking RuneScape! Shaky said, "You're all good, man. You do what you need to stay rolling." And like, I've often kind of said, like, if I ever had more money than I knew what to do with, I would just throw it at homeless people, bro. I would just do anything I can to like help homeless people. Just like Tony Hawk has done everything he can to like bring skateboard parks to like every city in America. I want to like bring a homeless shelter to every city in America. That doesn't fucking suck. I don't know. Maybe that's a pipe dream. Maybe it's impossible. But the other thing is, I can't really help the homeless when I'm homeless. What am I supposed to do? You know, I can't even help myself. How can I help anybody else? And that's what really helps. That's why I try to do all these like TOA videos and stuff, because it's the I'm getting choked up here. It's the one thing that I can do that makes a difference, that I feel like actually works. I've put a lot of time into making music, and almost nobody listens to it. And those who do love it, but I just can't get it out there. For some reason, I can't break through. I can't get any listeners. But like TOA, I know TOA, and TOA it's a fun thing, and it's a great challenge that a lot of people are interested in. My first TOA video has like 40,000 views now, and that means I taught 40,000 people how to raid, or at least showed them what it looks like. I'm very proud of that. I'm really proud of that. And they meant, like, probably none of them remember my name. That's okay. I taught them how to raid, and they're getting rich because of something that I taught them, or at least in part. Just the concept that maybe some random player out there right now is using my Kefri technique, or my ring around the rubble baba, or you know, just one little thing that I taught them, like just like that. That's one of the only things that keeps me going, is the fact that I do have the ability to change the world a little bit. Just a little bit. My bad, Zay. I totally missed your comment, bro. It doesn't help us that it only helps to put money in their pockets when we do go to jail or have to accept their assistance. Oh, yeah. If I went to the jail, they'd get fucking extra money for me being in the jail. Privatized correctional facilities, yep. You say you for sure watched me run TOA before you attempted? Awesome, Shakies, awesome. I wish I could run TOA right now. I wish I could just get in TOA and just not stress about it, but I can't. I can't do TOA. Like, I can't go to my usual stomping grounds anymore because they fucking kicked me out, so. I'm not having a good night, y'all. It's not a good night. I can't even play RuneScape right now. I don't even know what's going on. It was letting me for a while. Is it because I'm watching my YouTube on my other phone? I'm trying to watch my chat so I can talk to you guys. Okay. Well, thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate your kind words and stuff. I'm just gonna go watch some Simpsons or something, maybe woodcut, because there's nothing. I can't do anything else with this connection. All right, remote live stream test, kind of a failure. I've been logged out like 3-4 times just during this half hour. So like currently so much that I can't even log back in, even though I have the internet on. I don't know what the problem is. So, if anybody cares or if anybody's listening still, I wouldn't really. I'm just probably going to be working this next week. Like, I'm probably just going to work because I don't know what else to do. Because if I don't make some money soon, I mean, like, I need to make like $500 by the end of March. That's my goal. I don't have that much. And apparently when I went to do my taxes today, she basically said, look, you're going to owe us $1,000, so you might just want to do this by yourself, because it's not going to work. You're going to owe us money instead. She was nice enough to tell me that at least, but after making like 30 grand last year, which I don't know where the hell it went because it's all gone, I owe another 1,000? I put all this money into the fucking pony, and now I owe more? And then I'm gonna owe taxes on that more money that I just earned to try and pay off that debt. Like, I've seen enough. Kill me now. Zay says, "You're doing good, man. Try not to stress so hard. Things will work out. Always keep that in your head. Don't forget it. Stay positive." Appreciate the kind words. I just don't know. I don't think there's hope for humanity. I think we're like a really lost endeavor. The billionaires are just gonna rape us until we're fucking bone dry. This planet and the population. They don't give a fuck. They do not give a flying fuck. They will let the Earth be 150 degrees Celsius